All right. If you can see my screen and you can hear my voice, just send a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can proceed, we can continue. I'm seeing just one thumbs up. Two now. I want to see as many as possible before I can continue. So if you can hear me and you can see my screen, the welcome screen, please send a thumbs up so that we can proceed. Okay, I can see 5 now. I want to see more actually, so please let's send it. Or you can type who, or can see something, just type something to acknowledge that you can hear me and you can see the screen. Yeah. Okay. So I'd like to welcome you all to the ECB Onboarding. This is a very special event and something that we were all looking forward to, because this would officially, commence your role as ECB chairs, and also your visibility with us as ICB as well. And I really do hope that you enjoy all the content that we have here for you, because we planned this with having you in mind and everything. So hopefully everything here would be to your satisfaction and be to your information and to your advantage. Right. So before we start anything, I'd just like to go through the agenda. As you can see, the time starts at GMT 12+0. And we're going to be ending at 4:30 p.m. GMT +0. We will start off with the introduction to ICB, which I will be taking. I'll be handling that session right after I finish with this part, and then we'll have a get to know space. That will be a networking space. We have interesting, agenda for that particular one. So I really hope that you enjoy that session and get to bond with people. We have sessions from the 3 functional areas that we have identified, which is the audit and compliance team, from the board development team, as well as the customer support team. And then we would integrate everything and we will delve deep into understanding your role as ECB, not just as ECB chair, but also as ECB team member, as an ECB team leader, as MCC responsible, or as any stakeholder who is in the ECB network. So I do hope that you will enjoy everything that we have planned for you. And we have a special closing as well for you here, which will be handled by our lovely Neus. So yeah, basically that's the agenda we have for today. I'll move on. I just want to make some quick alignments with you guys. Just rename yourself in this moment. Your first name, your entity, and your role, so that we can acknowledge your presence with us today. And then there will also be breaks, as you can see in the agenda. We have some 15 minutes breaks. So because we don't want to wear you out with all the information that we have here, and we don't want you to be sitting for long hours, so we definitely have some breaks. But however, you can have some water by your side or some snacks to sustain you throughout the sessions as well. And we definitely need your attention for all the sessions. Make sure that you take notes and you put down all your questions if necessary. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. We'll be more than willing to respond to your answers. So if we are all on the same page, just say, type okay in the chat before we move on to the first session. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of okays, and I really do hope that you're all excited, because I'm also very excited for this onboarding, and I'm very excited I'm opening it as well. Yes, so I'm going to start off with, an introduction to ICB. I mean, it's not going to be an onboarding if we do not talk about ICB and we do not introduce ourselves to you. So this is going to be a session where we introduce what we do as ICB to you, basically like a surface knowledge about what ICB encompasses and what the team is made up of, or who the team is made up of, as well as our plans and our visions for the year 2022. So like I said, we are going to be talking about the ICB structure, the ICB 2022 identity, and as well as the plan that we have set for ourselves for 2022. All right, so the ICB, as you all know, stands for the International Control Board, and it's basically the final body responsible for ensuring the governance of the APIP, which is the ISEC portfolio internal policies, and basically to ensure that it's implemented in all ISEC entities and all bodies. And our purpose, or we were created to support the governance and to ensure customer centricity by guaranteeing operational and ethical compliance in every ISEC activity. So basically, that is what is enshrined in the APIP. As you can see here, I basically explained what the ICB is and what we have been set up to do. So this is what, highlights or underscores the importance of the ICB. So basically, that's why we put this here to, give you a reference point of how the ICB or why the ICB was created. All right, so I'll just move ahead to the ICB structure. So basically, we have three core functional areas of core functional teams in the ICB. So aside the ICB chair, we have the audit and compliance team, we have the board development team, as well as the customer support team. And each of these teams have a distinct role that they play. And, as we come together to perform these distinct roles, we make up the ICB and we end up, we help to achieve, the purpose for which ICB has been created. So the audit and compliance team basically helps to ensure that all the entities are following, the global policies, the APIP, and etc. And how do they do this? They do this by auditing the entities and ensuring that all your processes are in accordance to the policies that have been set. So they do this through the process, such as they have the audit panel, like phase 0 and etc. And they have the audit reports that they send quarterly. I think Gwen will probably be discussing that further, so I wouldn't want to go into it as well. So basically, they do that. They ensure that the entities are compliant with the global policies by the audit routines that they go through. With board development, it's more of engaging the network. It's more of helping the network understand their role and helping the ECBs be in a better capacity to deliver their functions as ECB. That's ensuring compliance and customer centricity within their entities. So we have been established to make sure that we provide all the resources and we give the ECBs the capacity to perform all these roles, because without the capacity, then it's not going to be possible for you to be performing your roles. And that's why the board development team exists. With customer support, the customer support area basically provides proactive and reactive support to the network and to stakeholders. What do we mean by proactive and reactive? They devise ways to ensure that, most of the risks are averted so that you as entities, do not find yourselves in cases. But at the same time, also, if you are found in cases, they ensure or they support you in solving or resolving these cases. So basically, that is what the customer support team is responsible for, and they help. They do this by providing, support in solving your cases, providing APIP interpretations, and helping with the day-to-day requests like status breaks, break of approvals, realization breaks, and etc. So basically, this is the core functions of the ICB, like I mentioned, and we are a team of more than 20 people, and the people that you see here are the people that make up the ICB team. We have the ICB chair, that's Tenolo, who unfortunately will not be able to attend this particular onboarding, but he's here with us in spirit. So, and he sends all his luck and all his best wishes to you guys. He's the ICB chair. So aside the ICB chair, we have the audit and compliance team, which is headed by Gwen, and she has 7 amazing team members who help to ensure that all entities are being compliant to the global policies. And then we have the board development team, which is headed by me, Richard, and I have 8 amazing team members who are also helping to engage with the network and to ensure that every ECB has the capacity to deliver their roles as stipulated in the APIP. And then finally, we have the customer support team, which is headed by Neus, and she is also supported by 7 of the most amazing people in the customer support team, and they help in providing the proactive and then the reactive measures to ensure that all risks are being managed well. All right, so with all these things I've said, as ICB, we have an identity for 2022 and we have things that we are focusing on. With our identity for 2022, we are going to be talking about the golden circle, the why, the how, and what. Why does ICB exist? Basically, we exist to make ISEC more impactful and sustainable. And how do we do that? Basically, by the mandates given to us by the APIP, we remain the final body responsible for ensuring the governance system of the APIP, and also that these governance systems or things that have been implemented or stipulated in the APIP are being implemented by all the ISEC entities and then the bodies. And what do we do? Basically, we do what we do, or what we are engaged in is the network engagement or management, auditing and reviewing of the internal documents, as well as customer support functions. So based on everything that I have said, so hello, we are ICB 2022. Our objectives for 2022 are to take audit and compliance, or to take AC to the next level, to take or to steer to ascension, and finally to reconnect ECBs to their essence. These are 3 main objectives for our term as 2022 ICB. And we will basically do this or achieve these objectives by being driven by accountability, and also by being driven by passion, as well as proactivity. And our slogan as a team, or ICB 2022, is the fearless pursuit of sustainable change. Now, this is what defines us as a body or as a global board. And so with that, with much said, I would like to present to you guys what our identity for ICB 2022 is. And our name is Aura. So we are called ICB Aura. And basically, why did we choose the name Aura? Aura is, or stands for the energy that a person or an object exudes, and it's a holistic representation of our vibrance as a team. We want to be as vibrant and as energetic as ever, and we believe that the name Aura connotes that vibrance or energy that we want to exude as a team. Now, why do we have a butterfly as part of our logo as well? Basically, a butterfly has the genetic ability to turn or to change as and when it needs to change, because you realize that we have different seasons, and then different times in life things get hit with, you get hit by things that are unexpected, a lot of uncertainties here and there, but your ability to to move with the flow, to change, and to also adapt is what would define you as a person. And we feel like a butterfly best represents this particular trait that we want to also exude as a team. And why do we identify as this? Basically, in an organization where change is continuous, there are things changing here and there. You realize that there are APIP changes, there are changes in GV, there are lots of uncertainties that came with respect to COVID and etc. There are lots of changes that can happen, there are lots of threats and all those things. Change is continuous. So in an organization where you have something that is as constant as change, then we want to be poised to seek the sustainable progress whilst facing all the challenges or all the uncertainties that we would be encountering head on. And basically, we intend to infect the network, that's the ECB network, with our aura of fearlessness. Basically, a positive energy is what the network needs to survive all the adversities, or to survive all the changes or all the uncertainties that they will be facing. And in order to affect you guys with our aura of fearlessness, we want to ensure that you guys are also pursuing the sustainable change that we all wish to see in ICB. So basically, like I mentioned, we have, we have plans as as ICB, and for 2022, I have already mentioned that we want to take CS to the next level. We want to take AC to the next level. We want to steer CS into extension, and we want to reconnect ECBs to their essence. And as three major teams within the ICB, this is what we are focusing on. For the BD team, we are focusing on having at least 85 ECBs established, delivering 50 ECBs, delivering at least 2 national education cycles in their entities, and delivering 200 touch points to the network, with this particular onboarding being one of the touch points that we envisage delivering to the network. And this is all to ensure that you guys are more engaged and you are more vibrant and energetic within the network, and to also put you in a better capacity to deliver your roles as ECB. CS also has their objectives for the year, which is to deliver 4 projects for Zendesk products, present at least 2 platforms, piloted entities, and then to send out at least 4 data reports. With respect to AC as well, they want to ensure that at the end of 2022, 80% of entities have an audit system approved by ICB. 80% of entities are reporting their ECB audit results, and 80% of entities are passing the ICB audit. So we cannot do all this just by ourselves. We need the cooperation of each and every one of you within the ECB network, because without you, these goals of ICB cannot be achieved. So we do really hope that you collaborate with us, and you would keep up with the engagements that we have with you guys. And at the end of the day, we'll be able to achieve all our plans, not even just as ICB, but also as the ECB network. So I'd like to end here because we have a lot to discuss and we have a lot to dish out to you guys. And I really do hope that this introduction has gotten to you to understand what we stand for as ICB, and the kind of roles and how we can be of help to you as ECB, how we can relate to you, and etc. I know that there will be other sessions that we will be talking into deep about these particular things, but I really do hope that this has given you a fair knowledge or a fair introduction into what the ICB does and who we are as a body. So thank you guys very much. Do we have any questions? Anyone want to ask a question? If not, we would be moving on to the next session, which is the Get to Know and Networking space. And it's going to be an amazing space. So I really do hope that you guys enjoy this particular space. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? Okay, so if there are no questions, we will just delve right into the Getting On with networking space. You realize that in the agenda, that takes most of the time. And that's because we want you guys to connect with each other, to interact with each other, because as a network, it's very important for you to have that sort of network between your other ECB colleagues, because you get to points where you need someone to share GCPs with, you need someone to discuss certain issues with, and who best to discuss these issues with than your co-ECB chair or your fellow ECB team leader or your ECB team member or your MCC responsible. It will help you guys to share with each other and just to have a cordial relationship. So I really do hope that you cherish this networking space and you make as much connection as possible. All right, so thank you guys very much. My team member, May, will be handling the networking space, and she has interesting content for you. So I hope you're ready for that. All right.